Right. So welcome to our accounting information session today at UC Davis CPE. We're here to talk about our spring quarter classes that are coming up in just a couple of weeks. So here's a quick peek at what we're going to be doing. We're going to go over a discount that you're going to get for attending live with us today. We'll look at the program information. We'll hear a little bit from one of our instructors on one of her courses. And then, of course, we'll have time for covering financing your education and questions. So because you're attending live, you'll automatically receive a discount coupon code in your email for $100 off of any enrollment at continuing a professional education. It could be accounting, it could be something else. I will take this opportunity to say that we can't stack discounts. So, if you're taking one class at a time, use the $100 off this first time, and then after that, do the early enrollment discount for $50 off, and so on. Or if you do something called the fast track, which we'll talk about, that's an even bigger discount. And so you're going to want to go for that one instead of the $100 discount. And you could share that with a friend or something like that. So my name is Heather Ogle. I'm the program manager for accounting. And then I'm so lucky to be joined by Kathy Zhao. She is our enrollment manager. She is your first point of contact as you talk about programs and look at enrolling in the various courses that we have. Hi, Kathy.
Hi everyone. Thanks for attending our info session. Yeah, I will be your first contact for enrolling into this program. And also I will be able to help you with the course plan. If you do want to know how to fit your schedule, how to fit your future plan. So I'm here to help you. I've also put in my calendar link as well as my email address to the chat box. So just feel free to schedule either Zoom meeting or phone call with me. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. Let's see. Will you try that one more time and make sure it's going out to everybody, because I don't see it coming up on my end. Oh, there it goes. All right, just my slow internet. Okay, let's keep going. So you've heard a little bit about us. I'd like to get to know a little bit about you guys. We're really here for you. Make sure you get the information that you're interested in. So if you could take a minute and tell us what brought you here today, what piques your interest in our accounting program, so that we can make sure that we're tailoring this session to your guys' interests and your guys' needs. So, we have plenty of folks who are career changers out there these days in a lot of our different programs. Accounting's no different. So this program is designed for total beginners in accounting. The only prereqs would be, some math, be good with some college level math, and comfortable with computers, because as we discussed, it is an online class. But other than that, you don't need any previous accounting knowledge. Then we also have folks who are interested in sitting for the CPA exam. So maybe you already have a fair amount of accounting background, but you need to flesh out your courses so you can sit for the exam. We can help you out with that. So let's go ahead and end the poll and take a look at what we have. So the majority, 64%, currently in accounting. You want to advance your skills. That's perfect. Our specialist certificate is a bundle of our more advanced classes. So that may be where you want to look and see what we have to offer there. And then we also have our next biggest, our career changers. That's our Principles Certificate. That's going to be it's a 4-course introduction to accounting. And then we have a few folks interested in the master's in accountancy. Our courses count towards some of the prereqs for that. Those wanting a certificate and some lifelong learners. So yeah, you guys are all in the right place. We'll definitely focus on identifying which classes are for sort of newer folks and which ones are for more advanced folks, so that we can make sure you guys know which ones you might want to be looking into. All right. So in general, all of our courses are online, but they are online in sort of the more traditional way They are not over Zoom. There's no live lecture. They're online. There are videos that you can watch. You can watch them anytime you want, any hour of the day, but they're set on weekly schedules. So you have 1 week to watch your lecture, read the book, do the practice problems, and then turn in whatever homework you might have that week, or if it's, say, taxation, personal individual taxation, you may be doing part of a taxation form, whatever kind of work you're doing that particular week. And then you would move on to the next module, and again, have a full 7 days to get through that content. That's not to say you don't have an active instructor. So all of our classes are taught by CPAs who are present and readily available to answer your questions and help you through homework, things like that. So you have somebody there, but you don't have to commit to a class time. You can take this class in the evenings, in the early mornings, in the middle of the day, whenever works best for you. So that's one nice thing about this style of program. It's really pretty flexible. They are 12-week long classes for 4 units. So this is an academically approved program by campus at UCD. So you can transfer these courses. We had a couple folks interested in the master's. These can be transferred. And so 4 units is our highest unit course within a 12-week period. So it is a heavy course. It's not something that you would kind of do while also watching Netflix. You do want to make sure that you have time to commit to really delve into the subject matter. And the courses, they can be taken individually. So you may decide, I'm really interested in that one course, or you can pursue a certificate if you like. And to do the certificate, you would make sure to take all 4 classes, say to get your Principles Certificate. And Kathy can help you with a course plan so that you do that over a year, or if you have a lot of time on your hands and some prior experience, maybe you could double up on classes occasionally, that kind of thing. So as I've mentioned, we have the 2 certificate options. There's the Principles, and then there's the Specialist. We have a question pop up. It looks like college units, do you have to have them to take the class? No. So we are open to everybody. We don't have any hard and fast prerequisites in order to start the program. We just highly recommend having a comfort level with math and computers so that you can get through without too much trouble. But you don't have to have any prior college experience in order to take these classes. It's a good question. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Principles Certificate. This is one of the 2 options, and this is great for career changers, people new to the field, or maybe even people interested. It looks like my internet's frozen, but I'm going to keep going in case you can still hear me. Now it's back. People interested in the CPA exam, you have to make sure to check off a bunch of classes before you're allowed to sit for that exam. If you combine our Principles Certificate and our Specialist Certificate and take all of those classes, that's going to take care of 99% of your accounting, of the accounting bundle of classes that you have to have for that. Of course, there's still some business classes you need and things like that. But the accounting specific classes, you can cover a lot of ground by taking both our certificates. So the Principles Certificate, it's 4 courses. And you're going to start out with the Principles of Financial Accounting. That is our prerequisite course for all the courses that we offer. So you need to take this class first. Or if you are already doing accounting or you've taken other classes, you can show us a transcript and say, I've already taken Principles of Financial Accounting in the last 5 years. I had a great grade, and we can look at accepting transfer credit to cover that one class. We only transfer in 1 class, but basically you need to have that first class in order to take any of the other classes that we have. The second class in Principles that you would take would be Intermediate Accounting Part 1, and then it has another one, Intermediate Accounting Part 2. Those ones, as it sounds, Part 1, Part 2, you need to take them in order, and then you can finish or intermingle with Principles of Cost Accounting. You don't have to take that last. But it does have to be after you take the prerequisite to get started. So those 4 courses, you can finish them within a year's time, and by taking 1 class at a time and have that certificate. Then our specialist certificate, for those who are looking to move up in the field, you're already working, you're looking to show that you have specialized in some niches, or you want to show that you're committed to your profession, your job, and you're continuing your education. You can say, here, look, I just got a certificate. I'm totally up to date on all the current trends, etc. The specialist certificate could be for you. This is a 5-course certificate, and the order in which you take these classes doesn't really matter, which is nice because they're not all offered every quarter. So say you may, take auditing, and then take financial statement analysis within a year. Or if you are really savvy, you have lots of time, you might take auditing and financial statement analysis at the same time, but it's with a caveat, right? Like these, as I mentioned before, these are heavy classes, they are graduate level classes. If you were to double up, you want to make sure that you have at least 20 hours available a week for your coursework, and that you have a really, if you are working, it's a very stable schedule. It's not going to change around on you. So these are the 5 classes that we offer in the specialist certificate. And again, you're going to need to have that Principles of Financial Accounting class, or show us proof that you have taken it somewhere else at some point in the past, hopefully within about 5 years. And then you can take any one of these classes. Maybe you're just interested in accounting for government and nonprofit. You can take just that class. That is absolutely fine. You don't have to take the whole certificate or commit to anything else. But if you want the certificate, then we have that available. Here's basically what I just said in writing. For the certificates, you have 5 years to complete all of the classes. So, life is busy. You don't want to take a class in the summertime because you want to go vacation with your family. That's absolutely fine. That class will come back around in a year and you take it the next summer. So you have 5 years all told to finish all of your classes and get your certificate. You only pay for each class as you take it. So you don't have to pay upfront for all of the classes. You just pay the $880 is our cost per class at the time of enrollment. And then you're going to register for the certificate for $125. That puts you in our tracking system and pays for processing, and gets your certificate when you're all done. And there are different discounts that are available. Like I mentioned earlier, the early bird discount. If you're sure to enroll at least 2 weeks before the class starts, you are automatically eligible for $50 off your class. So across 5 classes, I don't need to do the math for you. You guys are the accountants, it adds up. So that's the certificate as 1 class at a time. Now we have this fast track option that I mentioned a little bit earlier. This is, think of it as a bundle, an upfront payment that gets you a nice big discount. So the fast track is a set course plan. It says, okay, you're going to take this class this quarter, this one, and we're going to just put you in all the courses you need. Let's say it's principles, all 4 courses right away. You get priority enrollment. You're not going to get bumped out of a class. You know that you're secure, you're enrolled in that class. It's a one-click, one and done, and you're scheduled for all of your classes. Because that helps us plan for the future, we pass on a discount to you. So you're going to pay, instead of paying for each class one at a time, you're going to pay for all 4 classes at once, and you get a 15% discount off of the tuition. And you don't have to register for that certificate because you're already signing up for all 4 classes. So obviously you want that certificate. So we're going to do another poll and just kind of mull over what we just went over, see if you guys have any questions after this, but how might you want to take this program? So we have these options of 1 class at a time. You're paying once every few months for a class, or would you want to do a fast track and just prepay upfront for all the classes and know that you're secure. Or maybe you're just not sure yet because this is a little early in the conversation. And we'll see where everybody is at. And if anybody has questions, feel free to throw those in the Q&A box. We can cover those. All right, those answers are still coming in, but I'm going to go ahead and stop and share. So we're across the board, very interesting. 25%, you're not sure yet. This is still early in the conversation, that's totally fine. 33% say I'm all in, fast track option is for me. That's fantastic. You'll see on our website that there is it's called the fast track course. You click on that. That's all you have to do to be enrolled in all of the classes under that particular certificate. We've got an even spread then, 25 more interested in the certificate at your own pace. And then 17% just looking for a single class. So this is really interesting for us. Thank you for giving us that information. And if you need any help with any of these styles of enrolling, you know, in the individual class, finding out what kind of discounts you might be eligible for, that kind of thing, feel free to let Kathy know. Get in touch with us. We're here to help out with that. So moving forward, you say, okay, I'm ready, or I'm thinking about it. What would it look like? Here are the upcoming classes that we have for this spring quarter. So the classes will begin April 4th and they run through June 26th. And we have 2 classes that sit within our Principles Certificate and 2 classes that sit within the Specialist Certificate. Principles of Financial Accounting, if you're ready to get started and you're brand new, or maybe you want to take the Specialist fast track, but you just don't have that initial prerequisite, you can take Principles of Financial Accounting. It is available and waiting for you. And then Intermediate Accounting Part 2, unlikely that anybody here today will be signing up for that class because you need to take Part 1 first. So if this is your first encounter with us, then you won't have had that Part 1 class yet. So don't even worry about it. But if maybe you signed up for the fast track last quarter, and now you're just looking at the info session to see what's what, then you're already going to be enrolled in that Part 2. And then we have auditing and financial statement analysis available in our advanced series, those specialist classes. And they all run at the same time throughout the next quarter. So let's see, I saw a question pop up. Oh, there we go. Somebody who is in the fast track currently. So we have somebody in the principles, that's the sort of introductory, if you will, certificate. And they're saying, hey, I have a break right now. Could I take, financial statements analysis? Absolutely. It would kind of be a one-off. It would be an extra class. It would not count towards your principles certificate because it's not one of the principles classes. But if you're just interested in the topic and you want to gain that extra knowledge, by all means, feel free to enroll in that class and gain that extra knowledge while you have the time. But you need to finish your principles certificate, you would need those 4 specific classes that we discussed earlier. So something like cost analysis could be one that you still need, that kind of thing. But if you have more questions about it, let Kathy know and we can work through a course plan. So here's a quick look at our instructors. As I mentioned, they're all CPAs with varying backgrounds in different firms and public and private sector. And Monique teaches a lot of courses for us. That's her primary function these days, is teaching. Then we have Emily Anderson, who does our principles class. She's really great with our newbies. And then she's also available for other courses, including taxation and multiple courses that we have, but her primary one is that principles course. Then we have Jim for our auditing and our government class. People love him. And then Dawn for individual income taxation. So we're going to go ahead and take a second and hear from Emily about the principles class, and because I took a gamble that you guys would be interested in principles.
With over a decade of experience in the public accounting sector, both in tax and audit, but I'm also the teacher for the Principles of Financial Accounting class for the UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education Program. I absolutely love my class, and I think you will too. I have taught people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, and people with lots of different goals. I have had students in my class that have wanted to continue their accounting experience. I've had bookkeepers in my class. I have had treasurers for nonprofit organizations. I have had directors of global marketing in my class. I think that you would want to take this class because this class is for anyone who wants to learn about the basics of financial accounting and learn how to read a financial statement. You'll actually be able to prepare a financial statement by the end of this class, and I think that really helps to make you a more well-rounded person, no matter if you work in retail, if you are a manager, if you are a director or a stay-at-home mom. You could use these skills in your personal or career portion of your life. I have seen so many lives changed by just understanding how accounting works, understanding finances. I have had people who are investors, and they come through the class and they realize that they finally understand those financial statements that are sent out by their different stocks, and they are able to actually understand where these companies plan to be in the future, and they're able to invest their money better. I've had treasurers for local churches come through the class, and they feel like they're able to take care of a parishioner's money so much better when they understand how finances work. I had retirees come through the class. They just wanted some entertainment, and they definitely got it. But I've also had people who were just unsure of where their life was going, and they were just kind of stuck in a rut. They were not sure what to do with their degree, and they realized that they had a passion for accounting, and they were able to change the trajectory of their career by enrolling in this class and then enrolling in the program. So I hope that you take some initiative and enroll in this class, because I really don't think that you'll ever be disappointed that you did.
All right. Hopefully that came through. Home internet, working from home is not always perfect. If there's anything on that recording that you wanted to see that you didn't get to see, feel free to let us know and we can get you the link for that. But basically that was Emily being her great self and showing that she loves accounting and principles of accounting. All right, so a little bit about the cost. We'll go in a little bit deeper here on the cost. This breaks down the cost of the Principles Certificate. Again, that's the 4 courses. So you have the at your own pace, where you're paying just for each class as you take it, and you can take 5 years. So you're going to be looking at $35.20 and that $125 for the certificate registration. Or you have the bundle option, that fast track plan, where you're getting the 15% discount. So you're now looking at $29.92, and we waive that registration fee. And then just a note here, the textbooks are not included in these price calculations because we don't require you to get your textbooks from any specific source. you can go online and bargain and haggle and look around and find the cheapest one available. Or you can go to your favorite, I don't know, Barnes and Noble or Amazon, whichever, and pick up the first copy you see and be done and move on. So the price can range by $100 per textbook, depending on where you get it. But basically $100 to $200 a class. Those prices are coming down these days, but just plan that, you know, an extra $1,000 for textbooks, you'll be more than covered. But just know that that's not part of the cost here. I'm going to throw out one more quick poll while I take a look at the questions. This one is about classes, accounting classes in the past. Have you taken something in the past? And then let's see what kind of questions we have here. So the fast track, does it cover all courses for beginners and the specialist courses? Good question. So what it is we have 2 fast track offerings. We've got one for the beginner courses, the principles, and we have a separate one for the specialist courses. So if you want to take all of our classes, you can absolutely do that. And we can either do a master bundle of all the classes at the 15% discount, or you could just sign up for the first fast track, finish those classes, and then sign up for the second fast track, the specialist, and finish those classes. But yes, that rate is available across the board for all of the classes. And then classes counter approved by the CTEC, 60 hours for tax education. That I cannot guarantee. I don't want to give you an answer that I don't know 100%. Always happy to do some research and get back to you. If you want to leave your email in that question in the chat specifically to Kathy, we can get back to you on that. I have a feeling that, you know, maybe a couple of our classes would count, but then some others might not. That just tends to be how those things sort of work. They're looking for something specific. We might have a couple that are going to make the grade. And then let's take a look at our poll. Yes, we have, nearly, wow, 86% have taken something in accounting before. So that's perfect. That leads me to the fact that if you're interested in this specialist certificate, let us know about your course history, and we can see if we can waive that prerequisite. If you don't have something recent, that's fine. We can work on discounts for you to take care of that prerequisite so that you can take the rest of the certificate without too much of an added cost. Again, my internet is blacking out. There it is. Hopefully I'm still there. This is the price breakdown for the specialist certificate. Very similar to the one we just looked at, except that the specialist certificate is 5 classes. So you have a little bit more expense because you have an extra class. But you can see that you're going to be down to $37.40 if you do the fast track, or if you're still doing one at a time, you're going to be at $4,400, but that's without the discounts. So, you know, we have get a group of 3 people together and you can have a 10% discount, or do the early bird for the 50% discount. So we've got different options if you're doing the at your own pace. And similarly, those numbers don't have the textbooks in there. So just budget a little bit extra for textbooks. And then we do have different options for financing your education. We have some preferred lenders that we work with and have agreements already set up with for student loans. Those are private student loans, and they do come with interest rates. So you just want to be savvy about that. But they are applicable for our classes. Also, we work with job training funds, veteran education benefits, so whether that's GI Bill or the vet bills, AmeriCorps, WIOA, if you're in California. So there are a lot of different options for financing your education. And then Kathy has something to share with us about that. No? Okay. But if you have questions about that, again, let Kathy know. She can connect you with our specialist in student services who works with these different financing options and get the paperwork figured out. And no matter which option you might be looking into, I would say get started at least 1 quarter before you'd like to start your classes. So if this is the very first time you've sort of looked into stuff and you see one of these options as a viable option for you, get to work on that paperwork, contact people, and plan on taking your classes starting in summer. You might be able to fast track that paperwork and get in for the April deadline, but it would be close. So that's just your insider tip there. Do the paperwork as early as you can so that we can get you all set up and into classes. And then this is a note, just a note, as I mentioned way back at the beginning, that these are academic classes, so they do count towards master's degrees. So for example, our financial accounting statements class counts towards the UC Davis master's degree as one of their prereqs. So you can use it to get into those master programs as well. And side note, it's always up to the receiving institution to decide if they want to accept your transfer credit. There are plenty of institutions that would prefer you take all of the classes with them and pay them for their classes. So they may choose not to accept transfer credit, but that's not to say that the credit that we offer is, I don't know, subpar. It is fully eligible. It's just up to the receiving institution whether or not they do transfer credit. We're going to launch one more poll just to see if we missed anything for you guys while I cover some questions. Let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, so questions about the CPA certificate. There are multiple classes. I highly recommend, if you're in California, no matter your state, take a look at the CPA board for your state. They list out the different classes that are required. So for example, you'll need accounting classes, but then you also need some business classes. And we don't do any business classes because this is, in this certificate, it's specifically about accounting. So you'll need to plan for those different buckets of classes that are required to sit for the CPA exam. Your state's Board of Accountancy, CPA, is always a great place to start and to collect. They have worksheets where you can list out the classes and see what would be left, what would you need to do to make sure that you're getting the most, up to date, staying up to date with whatever it is that they want you to make sure to have taken. And then we have a question about time on lectures, coursework discussions. Yeah, great question. This class is set up so that you should be planning on up to 12 hours a week for classwork. Do most students spend that much time? No. However, by the calculations, academic calculations, there could be potentially that much reading, lecture, and homework all together within 1 week. I'd say it's much more often that the lectures are only about an hour, and then you're going to have reading that'll range anywhere from 1 to 3 hours for the week, and then you have homework that, depending on how new the topic is or how difficult, again, 1 to 3 hours. So, the high end of the spectrum, 3, 3, and 1, we're looking at 7, 10, something like that. But you do want to make sure you have time set aside for the program if you're going to take these classes. It's definitely going to take some time, unlike some classes where you can kind of go, hear the stuff, it's in there, move on. You'll need to spend some time with the material. Let's see if there's anything else we've missed. And feel free to throw out any other questions that you can think of if you have anything left. Just looking through here. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of questions left coming through. Again, Kathy has put her contact info in the chat if you want to copy that and grab onto that. Or if you can wait until tomorrow, you'll be getting an automated email with this recording as well as our contact information for more questions. And well, let's see, we had one more thing pop up. Let's see here. Oh. Students looking into internships. Congrats on the accounting assistant job. So we do have, as far as the career side of things, we have alumni and other accounting firms around the area who will send us job postings that we then post to our classes. But we don't have a dedicated program per se on, you know, oh, we will match you up with these 3 prospective job opportunities. We don't have something like that, but we do have people who know we exist and kind of do shop from us as far as making sure that we know about their job openings, and we share those with the classes as they come in. Okay, that looks to be all the questions that we have for today. Thank you guys so much for spending your early afternoon with us. If you have anything else that you think of down the road, you think, oh gosh, you know, I forgot to ask about that one thing, you will have our contact info. Feel free to reach out, and we can always make sure to answer those questions and get you in the best classes for you. Kathy, thank you for being with us here today.
Sure, thank you. Thank you all.
And we'll hopefully see you in some classes. Take care.